Right, hoping that's everything sorted and GT's gonna work. I cannot with this game sometimes. Pretty sure it's mine. I started that up. That is lobby A, so the stream is up, working this time for great news. Welcome everyone that's joining now to round 4. Just typing out the rudimentary links message for thing. I need X90G to go live. Right, so I'm up to date. I think we've got... Oh, we actually haven't got anywhere near enough people in this lobby at this point in time. So the 4 teams are... FGR, Arix, Falcon and PP. Project Platypus. Let's see, who is the missing... Who are we missing? It looks like we're missing Aura. Tobias. Aura, Tobias are the 2 that we're missing. Yeah. X90G just tagged me saying that he's live. So we will copy that link, put that YouTube message out. And then we can get turned to this properly. Alright, there you go. I think that was Aura, that was Tobias that just joined as well. And somehow we're still only 3 minutes late. I feel like that's actually rather impressive, to be honest with you. Alright, I'm hoping that this is going to be actually functionable for once. Don't look like people have got any issues. This time round, GT just decided it didn't want to work for some particular reason, which I can only apologize about. Alright, looks like everyone is ready, so we will put the starting soon message into the chat. Tobias. I look like Project Platypus are running a Georgia Bulldog delivery this time. They actually are running the Georgia Bulldog delivery. I thought that was a joke when I saw that yesterday. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Basically everyone's ready. We'll get going then. Let's start qualifying. Let's start qualifying. Evening, Pastic. How is everyone doing tonight? Hey, Super GT. How is everyone in the stream doing tonight? We're about to go live properly for qualifying. There's the klaxon. We'll see what's going on. Not entirely sure what was going on there. Good, good, good. Hope everyone is doing well. I have to pay attention to Rabat because apparently I've been notified prior to this that Rabat has been lagging a little bit, so we'll have to keep an eye out on that. I think, well, in the connection race I did earlier on with Capale, we were doing 18s. So somewhere in the 17s, low 17s, potentially high 16s is where my bet's going to be. Somewhere round about that 17 flat mark, I reckon, is where I'm going to put the marker. Well, let's see. Javi's the first one out. So we've got a couple of new drivers in for a couple of teams today. Alex is obviously one we're familiar with, but I believe this is his first race of the season for Falcon, so he's just going to get accustomed to the season again. Javi has just gone over the line to start the very first qualifying lap of this session. We've also got a couple of new guys in for Project Platypus. Bada Big with someone we'll all know of. And, well, someone maybe less known to ALR, but maybe more known to the esports world is BQS Lewis, who has joined Project Platypus for the remainder of the season. So, Project Platypus now up to their allocated 8 drivers. And now Bada Big's race today as well. They can't change anyone now for the rest of the season. All 8 of their drivers have raced a race, I believe. You know, Javi onto the back straight here. The McLaren isn't going to be too bad. I did it with no downforce change on the McLaren whatsoever earlier and did the 18 mid. I think I did like an 18.5 or something in that race I did with Capel, which for me, who is undoubtedly not an esports level driver, is potentially not that bad. I would expect it to be probably a second off of like someone like Javi, for example, maybe a little bit in some change. Javi 17.5, there you go. Pretty much exactly as I told you it would be. Lewis did 9 thousandths of a second quicker. Not very much, but to separate the 3 at the front. But a big 12 thousandths of a second slow after that. Javi's off the track. Well, the first 4 drivers now split by a 10th and a half. It was by about half a 10th of a second, if that, between 4 drivers there, between Lewis, Javi, Bada Big and Rabak. I think Kinkio's just done a 121. Oh, Rabak just slided the car just a little bit there. Kepler got off second time penalty. See what else is going to happen here. Lewis is currently in second. Over a 1:17.366 is currently a provisional pole. We're on Alessandro's point of view. Can't wait for the comments about Headlight Simulator again after this. Let's see if anything else is going to happen here. Aero currently on pole position. He's currently 4/10 of a second ahead of Alessandro, who we're currently watching on the screen. Lewis is about to go over the line as well. Lewis does a bit quicker, 17.4. Alessandro 17.5, up into 6th for him. Lewis is up into 2nd. He got within half a tenth, oh, just outside of half a tenth, sorry, of Aura. Alex up into 8th. Bear in mind, there's 12 in this lobby for qualifying, 12 in lobby B for qualifying. Then we switch to 14 and 10. That's a 17.8, I believe that is for Matty, who's currently not in the top 8. Gonna have to do a little bit better than that. Inkio did an 18.3. Half a second penalty there for Lewis, so that'll invalidate his lap. I'm guessing he is going into the pits anyway. Aura currently on a lap. We'll stick with Aura for now. Currently a provisional pole position. See if he's got any gas left in that tank to go quicker than what he's currently doing. It's not going to be the case through the first sector. 5 thousandths of a second back off of his best time. Looked a little bit unsettled there in those 2 corners. Those 2 90-degree right-handers did not suit his car at all. In that particular lap, he's got Matty in front of him. There's a teammate. Might be trying to look to play the team game. He also might not realise he's or not actually in a good place on his lap, I don't think. He's going to the line now. Don't think there's going to be improvement. 17.8 for Syndra. Into the pits comes Aura. Javi on an outlap. Bada Big on an outlap. Alessandro and Rabak have just come into the pits. Kepler on an outlap. Harlex is, well, Inkio just did an 18.2, so he's slowly but surely improving his way, his time the entire way. Alex! Oh, that might be a penalty. I don't know if he got too far on the outside. He has. Yeah, that answers that question. Sindra is currently a 10th up on where he was prior, so he's currently 4/10 of a second off of pole position. That'll turn into just over 3/10 of a second if he can get the lap as he currently is. We'll see if there's going to be anything for Sindra in this lap. He is still identical. Hasn't gained or lost anything in that second sector. Still at 0.097 up on his prior lap. That is enough to jump his teammate. We continue on, down to the line, goes Sindra, 117.6. Did actually gain a half-tenth there in the final sector and putting himself up in the 7th. Matty did a 17.6, I think that was there, yeah, 6.60, puts him into 8th for now. Let's have a look. Aura had a penalty. Lewis is just going into the middle of his lap here, so we're going to stick with the red and white Georgia Bulldog livery. Of course, Road Atlanta in the city of Atlanta, Georgia. And well, let's just hope they don't drive like their American football counterparts. Let's just hope that's the case. Otherwise, there's going to be a lot of crashes tonight. And potentially a crime. Maybe a little, but who knows. Here we go. To the line, Lewis not able to improve. Tobias is currently in 3rd. Decent start here for Project Platypus 2-3. FGR currently in the lead of this qualifying session. Aura's currently on a lap. See if we can figure out what is going on here. With 8 minutes gone in the qualifying session, Sindra has now moved on to the 6:03. You see the top 8 times are all separated by 3/10 of a second or not, or less actually. I think it might be by this point. It might even include Matty in 9th in that 3/10 of a second. Let's see what Javi can do going over the line. He's currently behind 2 Project Platypus drivers and Aura, and he isn't improving. I think Aura is either. Just wait to see if he goes when he goes over the line to make sure. He might actually be improving. He is improving. 1/10.5, 0.177, and now 1/4 of a second is needed by Lewis. And he days out. Tobias went into the pit, so that's Tobias qualifying over and done with. And Lewis gets himself an extra 10th there as well. Not close enough to Aura. Still 1/10.5 in there. See who's the next one to the line. We are starting to head toward the end of the session. Sindra will get one more. I think the next 4 drivers over probably get one more as well. I don't know where this situation will be if you're on the back straight with about 30 seconds left of the lap to go. Sindra did not improve. Alessandro's coming to the line now. Harlex did a 17.7 flat there. So he gets himself actually within 6/10 of a second of the leader. Alessandro not improving. There was an improvement for Badabig in that though. And he's on 2, or was there? I don't even, actually it was Rabak that improved. He's up into 4th there. 17.4 on a lap as well. So he'll get one more shot at this. Aura to the line. He's going to be the first one over. And he got into the 17.0s. 17.03. He is absolutely flying right now. Another 10.5 put on. And now Lewis needs 3/10 of a second and he's not setting a lap. So Lewis won't be able to beat Aura here. Aura again just putting on a show. Rabak's the next closest one that could potentially beat him. Let's see if we can go to the line here with Rabak, because Javi's got a penalty in 5th there, so he won't be improving. Rabak's currently slower as well. Someone just went over the line. No improvement at all for that person. As we go over to the line now, one more ahead of Rabak. Rabak is diving. Oh no, he's not diving into the pit, just trying to get as top to the hill as possible. To the line he goes. No improvement again. Alessandro the next one. No improvement for him either. Sindra's got no lap. Matic the next one to the line. 17.6.000, and he beats Sindra by 3 thousandths of a second, and Alessandro beat him by 8 thousandths of a second. Really close in the end. And then Javi to the line after his penalty, so he's not improving, and that will signal the end of qualifying. That will signal the end of qualifying here. Because people went into the pits, we're going to have to wait a little bit of time. Either way, Aura 17.037, and I actually called that. Oh, well, in within a 10th. I said about 17 flat. Look at that. Who knew I actually knew what I was talking about for once? Aura 0.3 of a second clear of Lewis in the Project Platypus Lexus. Oh no, that's BMW, sorry. In second. Tobias in third in a Gen X. And Rabak in fourth. So it's FGR. It's FGR and then it's Project Platypus, FGR to start on the front 2 rows with Javi in 5th. Badabig in 6th. A great day. Great start for Project Platypus as long as no one in Lobby B has topped them. Not entirely sure what the times look like in Lobby B right now. I'm gonna take a look, I think. There you go, actually got him through there. So it looks like 17.7 was the best lobby time in the other lobby. 17.7, only good enough to, I think, jump Kepler. 7.23, yeah. Only good enough for 11th fastest in this lobby. I think Apex Hollywood will also be joining us. When is the race starting? When people have switched lobbies and when when BX has got his grid out, and then we'll get going. So my guess is probably within the next 5 or 10 minutes. We'll see what else is going on. Alright, on pole for certain. The top 10 is going to remain the top 10. I think there might be a couple of people joining us from the other lobby, you know. And that's going to be the interesting thing, I think, here. That we're gonna potentially get. Well, we are definitely getting 2 from the other lobby. That's just how maths works. But genuinely, potentially at the expense of some of the drivers in this group. Ahmed already taking a stab at Dino for not following league rules. Sort that out in a minute after this race. It is 3 Project Platypus cards in the top 6. They seem to be having alternate races so far. Monza was awful when they had BX in Lobby B, and then they had the great race in the second race of the season. And then they had a tragic third race last week, Kyoto. And now they're set up in a spectacular way to do pretty well here in round 4. We'll see what's going on. I will very quickly do that, so BX has the chance to catch everything. And then end. Actually, I'm going to take the screenshots as well. I'm going to take the screenshots just so I have them. And then we'll end the race there. So that way I can set up everything to get going as soon as possible. We will edit event settings, practice race. It'll go to custom weather times 1. Still 50 laps, nothing changes there. Be set by host. Everything else should be the same. So we'll just wait very quickly for some confirmation going on here, and then we'll get going. Petition for a lobby C. We need enough teams for that. We definitely need enough teams for that. Talking about that, I've got something pretty nice to show at the end of this stream. Alluding to, maybe not on the stream itself, but in the chat afterwards. A couple of teams may already be looking toward next season. They'll hopefully be happy with what I'm about to put in. Didn't notice anything from Raback too badly there, by the way, in terms of lagging. All right, we will then change event settings then, because BX has the lobby, the grid out. So, Orad on pole, Lewis in second, Tobias in third, Raback in fourth, Javi in fifth, Badabig in sixth, Alessandro seventh, Matty eighth, Syndra ninth, Harlex 10th, Owen 11th, Kepler 12th, Hollywood 13th, and Astro 14th. There you go. We finally have Astro in Lobby A for once. He's finally broke the curse. Let's wait for a couple of people to join our lobby here. So lobby B is going to be Capel on pole, while Aries in second, Latari third, Thunderdon fourth, Prime Cole fifth, Cookie Monster sixth, Hurricane seventh, and then the Misfits trio at the back. Waiting on one more. There should be 14 in here. It's Hollywood. It's out Tobias to enter. That way I can actually figure things out. Sort out the grid. That way we can get going. Don't want to delay too long. I think that's Hollywood. That is Hollywood. Nice to see another one of the Apex drivers joining us in Lobby A for tonight. Let's see if they can do it. Let's see if he can do anything in this one. Also, I'm very curious to see what Astro can do. Very curious to see what Astro can do. I'm going to start setting the grid because we'll have Tobias sort himself out in a minute. Just know that Tobias is third. Then it is Raback in fourth. Javi in fifth. Badabig is next up. And it's Alessandro. Then it's Matty. Then it's Syndra. One second, I will respond to you in a minute, MXC. I think that was MXC that said something that I will respond to you in a split second. I'm just setting the grid. Syndra. Raback's only P3 because he hasn't actually entered in yet. Astro, Hollywood, Kepler, Owen, Alex. Tobias has now entered in, so I'll go through and put Tobias where Tobias needs to be. There you go. And that's that. There you go. Your grid is now sorted properly. Rabak in P4, etc., etc. We will put in our starting soon message, which gives us precisely 1 minute to actually do something. I am going to use that minute to load up the YouTube and respond to the message that was cut off halfway through. Let's see if I can find it real quick. Lobby A. There's mine. So what was said? Badabig is definitely a... Badabig and Tobias are native Project Platypus drivers, as far as I'm aware, or have been for ALR in ALR for a while now. VQS Lewis was a new signing they had. Originally they were putting him in Aero, but he wanted to join here as well, I think was the line. But yeah, he's here going to race it for a couple of races this season. I think I was alerted that he might be racing a few times. But yeah, alright, we've had the minute. Everyone's good to go. Everyone has to be good to go by now, surely. So we will get going. We'll do one last of the grid, one last check of the settings, and then we'll get going. Don't really need to wait too much longer on that. Alright, let's go. You see a lot of headlights again, which is going to be... Everyone's going to enjoy that. Headlight simulator as we head down towards turn 1. Here we go, we've got red lights. There's 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 5 red lights, so it's lights out, and away we go! Who's going to get a good start? It looks like Aura's going to be the answer to that question. He's flew away here. And Rabak's got alongside Tobias. We got just a small amount of headlights going on there. We go through. Rabak's still in 4th. Javi's in 5th, trying to push now. Got the inside line. That McLaren is going to take that corner pretty well. And gets that position up into 4th he goes. We're going to just go back a little bit. Badabig stayed in 6th. Matty in 7th. Alessandro in 8th. Harlex in 9th. We go through the first lap of this race. It looks like Matty not able to quite get in front of Badabig at all. Here comes the move to the outside though for Harlex, trying to get round Alessandro. Can he get it done? No, he can't. Alessandro's staying up for now. We got Sindra trying to get involved, trying to stick in with Kepler as well, and they really haven't done much of anything there. Blinded by some yellow lights as we go through. Astro going for the inside of Hollywood. Can he get it? No, he can't. That's well defended there by Hollywood. Aura at the front, however, 6 tenths clear of Lewis at this point in time. Tobias has dropped off. So we might be seeing a very, very interesting battle for the lead between these two. Not much else outside of it. Yeah, already 1.1 seconds behind Lewis. But in 3rd position is Tobias. Haven't had any incidents like the guys driving, like the logo on the Project Platypus car at this point in time. Just fair play. Javi's still in 4th. Got ahead of Rabak in lap 1. We'll go through the tyres when everything has calmed down just a little bit. Badabig there, still ahead of Matty as well. Oh, Rabak sliding the car just a little bit. Looked like Matty didn't have too much instability either. Alessandro's got away from Harlex, and then we've got Kepler over half-second time penalty there as we head down the back straight. Owen and Hollywood are fighting it out, and I think there's an issue. There is, yeah, there's an issue for Sindra, who's now at the back of the grid. Hollywood is going after Owen to try and get 11th. Trying to go to the inside of this chicane. Got a nice run there. Got the position as well. Up into 11th goes Hollywood. Not bad at all. A little bit of late braking there from the Apex driver. Kepler also dropped back into the group because of the half-second time penalty. Alessandro's still doing enough to hold Harlex at bay for now. That didn't sound too great in the background of the screen. In the background there, it sounded like tires were starting to screech just a little bit. Looked like everyone stayed on the track though. We'll see if everyone's going to be able to try and drive their way back into this sooner rather than later. It's Aura. Oh no, Aura just got overtaken. Yeah, 6/7 of a second there. Free play still. I'm still very much not able to do things at the moment. But Aura lost out the lead there to Lewis. So Lewis is now taking the lead of this race with Aura in second. Tobias in third. Tobias has been brought back in. Maybe makes sense the penalty, to be honest with you, because he hasn't lost too much time. It pretty much flipped, rolled, reversed as a whole, because he was about half second up on Lewis. Now Lewis is about half second up on Aura. The 29.3. Oh no, there you go. There you go. It's reset. With an 89 on the prior lap. Yeah, 1 entire second slower. Pretty much to the dot, actually. Lewis is just gaining a little bit of an advantage now, though. That's going to be a fairly interesting scenario to bring up. Aura is used to fighting at the front, but Lewis is, well, he's used to fighting Jensen, and Jensen usually comes up with different strategies. Oh, Lewis has got a penalty! Lewis has got a half-second penalty there. Not sure, I can assume he picked it up at the end of the first sector. That's a half-second penalty, so he's going to lose out to Aura here at the line. The penalty line just coming up now. And Aura goes through. Aura takes the lead of the race once again, and all natural order is being restored in this race. And roughly about 6/10 of a second. So yeah, it must have been an Aura penalty on the last lap that flipped the positions, and now they flip back in the same manner. 17.4, currently the fastest lap of the whole race up to this point. And you got Tobias, who is still there in that Gen X, trying to exist with the two at the front. Javi 1.3 seconds further back. Vanderbeek is in 5th, so up a little bit there as a whole. Rabak's dropped to 7th. Not entirely sure what happened to Rabak, but Rabak's dropped to 7th. Matty's got up a place. Vanderbeek done up a place. Maybe a penalty as well. 19.7 on the last lap. That probably signifies either a very small spin or a penalty of about a second. That's probably the case. It dropped him a couple of places. So Rabak's dropped a couple there. Only one of them is to his teammate though, so he isn't technically losing anything in that position. Alex and Kepler here, you're looking to go after each other down the back straight. Is there going to be any movement here? Arix versus Falcon. We head down the back straight. The sun's starting to come up here at Road Atlanta. Kepler not going for that. Alex holding on. Oh, he might not be holding on a little bit longer now, because he's one tyre into the grass. Opens up the door. Is the door opened up wide enough though? Kepler looking to the outside now. He's alongside. He doesn't give it his full go there. He actually tries a little bit of a switchback attempt potentially. Now he's got the inside line into turn 3, and Alex is still defending well. Another half-second penalty for Kepler, who picked one up on lap 1 or 2. So he's going to drop a little bit off the back of Harlex here and back towards Hollywood again, who has actually cleared the rest of the group. We'll have a look at the front in a minute. Tobias has left. Oh no! Tobias is out. I think he may have just DC'd. I'm not entirely sure. See if I can get anything from Perry. Tobias is out though. And Kepler will get penalised, and that stops any move right in its tracks. He might be too far in front of Hollywood though. And he looks like he might be trying to get overtaken. Here comes Hollywood to the inside. Still there, doesn't get it to stick. He tried it. Definitely did try it. Hasn't worked though. Tobias out of the race. It's a huge, huge blow to Project Platypus. That is a massive blow. Albeit Badabig and Lewis are doing great in his absence, I guess. They would have rather had the 3 in the top 5 and take the points off that to, well, undo what was done last week. Because last week was absolutely shocking. From Project Platypus. DC, yeah, so he's out. Up to the back of the grid. Yeah, Tobias did. Gains the position for Javi though, puts him into the top 3, and we now have 3 different people in the top 3. We've got a massive gap, however, between the rest of the grid and Lewis and Aura, who are right beside each other now. Up 4 tenths of a second, 4.5 tenths of a second, split the 2 of them. BMW versus Merc. Yeah, 3 different people, 3 different teams. Oh god. You can tell I'm like running on like 3 hours sleep. Astro is probably screw you, Wiki. Screw you. Astro will be in the bottom 4 or 5 at the moment. We'll take a look in a second though when we figure out what's going on. I think Lewis may have got a bit too deep there. That might be a penalty. We'll see if that gets flagged up. Yeah, it will. It will. That's a penalty for Lewis. So Aura's going to get some breathing space here at the end of this lap. We'll see if he's going to be able to use that to break away as much of a gap as possible. There we go. There's the half-second penalty kicking in for Lewis now. This gap should be over a second. 1.3. Lewis is on Project Platypus, yes. As you can tell from the Georgia Bulldog livery, that it's also on Badabig's car. And you've got the FGR boys in 5th and 6th right now, right on the back of Badabig as well. Going through. Those guys haven't forced anything to happen yet. Harlex not really caught. Harlex has dropped massively off the back of Alessandro and been caught all the way back up by Keflero, who's ahead of Hollywood, who's got himself a little bit of a space to Owen and Astro. Astro currently in 12th. Syndra currently rears the back of the grid. We'll see if there's going to be anything for Astro in the first sector here. I don't think there will be. We're going to go a little bit further forward, see if Kepler's got any answers. As he goes into the first of the 2 90-degree right-hand turns at the end of the first sector here. Has he got any answers? Has he got a good enough exit on the second one here to try and get the Falcon driver? The answer doesn't look like he has. Gonna have to push a little bit now on the back straight. Potentially use a little bit more time than you would have wanted to try and get this move done. And I don't even think he's going to get it done here either. He might be just a little bit too little too late. Alex, well, not defend, even having to defend the inside. He knew that Kepler was too far back to actually try and make a move stick. So Alex Norwegian holding on to 8 for now. Here comes Kepler again, down into turn 1. Just again, not close enough. Just not close enough again to the Norwegian to make the move stick here. And Alex need Kepler to get himself in front. Try and capitalize on the Tobias DC a little bit more. A little bit further forward. Mete and Rabak still right on the back of Badabig. No real moves been able to happen for both the FGR boys. The real question is whether or not Rabak looks a little bit quicker, and right now he does. Only been now on the last lap, he was about a tenth of a second slower than Matty. He definitely looked like he's gearing up something of a move here. Matty pulling to the inside, letting Rabat go. Okay, so he's let Rabat go to have a go at Badabig here. FGR 3 in the top 6 right now, including the lead of the race. They look to extend their lead just that little bit more. They look to take control at the halfway stage of this season if they can win this race. And then, well, with Rabat and Matty. Lewis 1.6 behind Aura, so Aura's got himself an advantage now. Advantage just cut into a little bit on the last couple of corners. So Aura, Lewis both on the softs, Habby on the softs. I think this might be a soft to everybody to start this race. You know, Badabig, yeah, soft to both the FGR boys behind him. You know, Alessandro 2.3 seconds behind Matty in 6th right now. If he can get himself involved with the FGR lad, oh, never mind. Never mind. That is a classic case of speaking too soon. And there goes. Then there's a half-second penalty for him as well. And I think there's a half-second penalty in the background for Keplero again. It is another half-second penalty for Keplero around Road Atlanta. And Harrix has been, well, Achilles healed here by these penalties. And again, this might bring a little bit closer for Hollywood, who's going to get within a second. Harlux breaks that second gap. We might be able to see a three-way fight here. Oh, Astro got past Owen, by the way, up into 11th. Which I believe is 9 PP. Oh, that's a second penalty. Oh, that's not good news. Well, well, he had got past Owen. He's going to give it back, and he's actually going to give the place to Syndra as well. It'll drop to the back of the grid then. Keplero still 1.1 second behind Harlex, and Hollywood has got within that second gap. Alessandro needs to be a little bit cleaner, I think, here without the penalties, and he can get himself close enough to the FGR lads who are currently in a train, so you'd expect that gap to start coming back down. Oh yeah, it absolutely is, but I love the track. It flows so much. So that's why it's on the calendar. But yeah, Badabig might be under fire now. Badabig might be under fire. We're going to watch this at the moment in time. Look at this. Badabig versus Rabat. Badabig is defending the inside right now. Still holding on. And Rabat's now moved to the inside. He's flipped a little bit. And Rabat has got past Badabig. Badabig tried the outside for a split second there. Just nothing doing. And the pit stop incoming now for the Lexus. On lap 12, so Badabig into the pits. The FGR boys get to just flow a little bit, just to get a clean air away from Badabig and potentially put some actual lap times down and gain a little bit of a gap. Lewis a little bit deep there as he tries to chase down Aura for the lead of this race. Looking through, the field probably isn't going to go too much longer here for Lewis. Maybe one more lap out of that if he's lucky. I think the pit's more likely at the end of this lap though. Aura's got slightly more fuel than Lewis, so we'll see how that plays out. And whether or not that means one of these guys go one more lap. We'll see if he's got any chance. He's got within half a second now though. Just about half a second. Is there going to be anything happening here? Pits for both of them. Okay, so they both come into the pits. Lewis got a lot closer in that pit lane than Aura probably would have wanted him to. Javi stays out again. He's definitely got this lap of fuel in him. Don't know if he's got anything further. Rabat staying out as well. Matty's staying out an extra lap, so they're on 14. Wonder if they're going to try and save the 15, 15, 20. I wonder if that's the strategy currently being employed here. All of the guys going through Astro, I assume it's pit as well by now. If Owen and Syndra are right here and Astro is nowhere in sight. Lewis has gone on to 100% fuel, Aura on to 51% fuel. I guess it's soft for Aura. It is soft for Aura. Pit lane, however, is mediums for Lewis. Okay, so this is now where it gets interesting in terms of strategy. How well can Aero do on this stint, and can he get himself far enough away from Lewis to make it work? Syndra right on the back of Owen here for Falcon and Aero GT. I don't really see... I don't know if Syndra's got enough in the tank here to make this move happen. He's got within 4 attempts, but I don't know if that's enough. With the downforce, he got close. Javi's now into the pits. Didn't go for a 15 flap. Couldn't go for it. Not enough fuel by the looks of things. Well, like Syndra isn't able to make any moves stick. Owen's gone a little bit longer. Owen's gone for a 15 flap. Syndra's gone for a 15th as well. These two fighting out right now. Rabak's gone. Rabak stayed out. Matty went in. Hollywood also in as well. Matty's gone to 74. Not entirely sure if that entitled the medium tyre or not. But Harvey's staying on the soft as certain. Aura looking at 5th in the race as it stands. Still decently ahead of Lewis, who's just coming through the first corner now. There's Badabig in the background. Where is he coming out? In particular to Javi. He's come out about 4 seconds behind Javi, actually. He's gone on to another set of softs. Gone on to 50% fuel as well. So looks to do another stint of what he just did. And there's about... I think that's about 9... Actually, it's about just over a 10-second gap between the two drivers that were at the front of the grid before the pit stops happened. So the strategy is definitely going to play a part now. I wonder if this is just a different variation of a 2-stop between the two teams. In comes Harlex off the medium tyre, so he was the medium tyre runner at start. So is Syndra as well. They'll be able to run the softs in the next couple of laps. Owen and Syndra go again. I'm not sure if you've got it. Just about got enough fuel for that if you're lucky. Rabak's come out with 66% fuel. We'll see if there's some medium tyre going on his car. Aura's still 6 seconds ahead of Javi right now. Is it a soft tyre going on his car? There's Lewis in front of him. You can see that. There's a 3-second time penalty for Rabak. Oh, he cut the pit lane. That is unfortunate for him. Badabig's going to take that position straight off of him then. And he'll give it up to Matty and Alessandro as well. He's going to lose a few places here, Rabak. Not a good place for him to be. He's on softs, so he should gain a couple of them back. Badabig's on medium tyres here in his second stint. We'll see. We'll stick with Rabak here. We'll see where this 3-second time penalty puts him. We continue on in this race. And there you go. The 3-second time penalty now started. There goes Badabig. Matty's gone by. Alessandro's gone by. Syndra and Owen are now into the pits. Is he going to get overtaken by Harlex? He's rapidly approaching, but he's too little too late. And the Rabak is going to stay ahead of Harlex for now. They're both on soft tyres, so Harlex might be able to do something about this. Syndra is coming out onto the soft tyres, so the real question is who's he going to be out ahead of? The answer looks like he's coming out directly behind Harlex. Oh no, never mind, I've just completely underestimated how long it takes to get out of this pit lane. Has jumped Owen and Astro though, but they're on different strategies. So it's another strategy race here this season. A couple of those. Harlex is right on the back of Rabak. We've got a couple of people actually fighting in front. I think Rabak just picked up a half second. Rabak has just picked up a half second. He's going to drop that position to Harlex then. Rabak's start to his second stint could probably not have gone worse. And definitely not how he designed it, that's a certain. Badabig trying to defend from Matty here. Trying to hang on against the Romanian. Matty to the inside. Gets it done this time though. And Matty is up in the 4th. Matty is on the soft tyre though, that is worth pointing out. I am now intrigued in the strategy people are going to deploy in this race. Those who have gone to medium tyres signified their 2-stopping. I wonder if the guys who went double soft are doing a reverse, an alternative 2-stop maybe. Can't be trying to 3-stop surely. Continue on, Bada Big just dropping off the back of Matty now. Matty got 3 and he's just starting to drive away. Alessandro is currently on the soft as well, so you'd expect the same outcome here. Where Alessandro down this back straight should be able to get Bada Big fairly easily. Bada Big will have a little bit of slipstream coming from the car ahead. The sun is coming up here in Atlanta. Alessandro's looking, he's got to start looking at this to the inside. He's got to start looking for this. He's gonna go. He's not gonna make it though. Not even really made any attempt at it actually. It is interesting though, because you feel like that maybe Alessandro could have gone for that. Wait, but he didn't go for it in that position. Now he's going to be stopped behind Bada Big again. This burst sector doesn't really offer up an overtaking opportunity. So he's now going to have to stop in this. He's now going to have to just try and force a move to actually happen here in the second sector. Alex and Rabak are now back onto this group as well. And yeah, P3 and 5 are Project Platypus. They are in the Georgia Bulldogs livery tonight. And 7th is, oh, a little bit of contact! That's what it is! Between Harlix and Alessandro, which will allow for Rabak to go on through and take positions of them both. And it is Falcon. It's not Falcon anymore, but it is Falcon in the Harlix there. Green and the black. Very much signifies the Falcon livery at this point. Very synonymous. Alessandro obviously keeping the position from Harlix. Harlix waiting up for him so that he doesn't get reported later on, because that was about as clear as day, that one. Bada Big got himself a little bit of a gap now to Rabak to take advantage of all the carnage going on behind. Rabak is on the soft, Bada Big is on the medium tyre right now. Matty's on the soft as well. The gap at the front, 7 seconds now between Aura and Javi. That has gone up just a little bit since the last time we saw it. In terms of who qualified from Lobby B, it was Hollywood, Owen, and Astro at the expense of Aries in Lobby A. Now let's see if we got any sort of movement available here whatsoever. Syndra has actually cleared Hollywood now and he's looking to try and get himself beside Keplero. Already in a position where after the incident earlier on, whether it was a mistake or not, it's in a bit of a recovery position right now. Syndra and needs to get himself as many points. Oh yeah, Hollywood as well, yeah. Yep, Hollywood as well. You are right. Yeah, he's got to try and get as many points here for Falcon as he can. Alex currently in the top 8. And the other driver in Lobby B. So Falcon might be falling off the trajectory just a little bit. Project Platypus obviously lost Tobias early, which would be massive for their season. If Tobias has stayed in, got himself like a 3rd place, Rabak is lagging just a little bit. Bada Big has been overtaken by Rabak in all of this. Actually, didn't even realise that much. Bada Big in 6th, Rabak in 5th. Alessandro, the next car up. And Alex as well. These two obviously came together in the prior lap. Alessandro not being taken out this time round. go into this. Really, is he going to get close enough again? Alessandro just does not have the straight line speed against Badabig right now. He might be looking, no he won't actually, he's just got a little bit deep, a little bit late on the brakes there, compared to Harlex in particular. And Harlex might be looking for an inside move now. He did get his car, a tyre in there for a very split second. Didn't make anything of it though. And now he's stuck behind Alessandro and Badabig again. Not really bad enough. It's not really bad enough here for Rabat at all. Let's have a look further forward. So Javi is cut in about 8/10 of a second at the moment. Lewis 8.5 off the back of Javi and 15 off the back of Aura. And the longer that goes, the more this could get very interesting at the end. And Matty and Rabat in 4th and 5th right now. FGR having an absolute blinder of a day at this point in time. Matty outscoring Alessandro and Rabat outscoring outscoring what Kepler, sorry. Couldn't think of that. I couldn't think of the name originally, not entirely sure why. It's not good news for Arix in this championship. FGR just starting a state of claim now. Just starting to make a statement. Badabig again defending here from Harlex. Alessandro actually dropped off just a little bit there. Not entirely sure what happened to Alessandro. 21.7 on the last lap. Dropped him about 3 seconds off the back of Harlex. Not sure if that's a penalty either. That looked a little bit deep. We'll see and figure it out in a minute. Badabig is right up there with Harlex. So we'll go to that actually right now because Harlex has got to run. Badabig's going to be under fire here. As I like to point out, the Project Platypus are on the alternate strategy to everyone else. Here comes Harlex to the outside of this corner. Into the chicane, he'll have the inside line. He's got to go for it here. He's got to take this now with a late break. With the better tyre. Just about does it. Just about kept it on the track. He has got past Badabig. And up into 6th place is Harlex. Bear in mind, Harlex has done his medium tyre already. So the opposite strategy isn't going to benefit Badabig here in the slightest. In comparison. Badabig already 6/10 off the back of Harlex, and it'll be a case of how long before Alessandro gets onto the back of him here. That's an interesting situation in the midfield. Rabat currently 1.3 behind Matty. Matty doing alright in his season debut here. I don't even know who that is. Who just joined the lobby. Matty is only 2.6 seconds away from Lewis, actually. 2.9 now, actually, behind Lewis. That could be very interesting. Oh, Lewis just sliding the car on the exit there. Didn't really affect him because he kept it out the grass. He's 8.9 seconds, sorry, behind Javi, and 16 behind Aura at this point in time. I am curious whether or not it's 3 stops for FGR at this point, or whether or not they're just going to do 20 laps on the medium, try and get as close to 20 laps on the medium as they can, and do the mediums on the last stint of the race. Lewis has cleared Matty by quite some distance here on this particular lap, about 6/10 of a second since the last time we checked it. Had allowed for Rabat to catch up right on the back of Matty. 3.4 seconds between Harlex and Rabak as well. We got Bada Big 1.5 seconds off the back of the Norwegian, and still decently ahead of Alessandro at this point in time. Keplero, the extra Italian for Arix, right, followed up right now by Falcon Sindra. Not entirely sure if he's going to be able to really get a grip on Keplero here, Sindra. He's been around about that level of gap for a long time now. Hollywood doing nice in 11th in this race, and they got Astro in 12th and Owen tailed off right now. See, go back to the front. Still 7 seconds between Aura and Javi. That relatively stayed the same in this second stint. They are both still opening the gap ever so slightly, however. On Lewis at this point in time, who's on the medium tyre. We both know, we all know that Javi and Aura both have to come onto mediums at some point. I reckon the question is going to be how long they do go onto mediums for. Javi, Aura's into the pits. Okay, so Aura is now into the pits on lap 26, 24 to the end for Aura here. Not entirely sure if there's going to be anything. Well, what's going to happen here? What's the plan? For Aura, 90% fuel, so I assume it's medium tyres. I assume it's medium tyres here. Going to come out behind Alessandro, Keplero and Sindra. The new Project Platypus liveries are Georgia Bulldog liveries, and it's because we're in Georgia, we're in Atlanta. And Perry didn't want to put the Falcons on his car. Surprisingly, we haven't seen any Project Platypus driver crash into anyone yet. You see, I can make that joke. Comedy comes in threes, so I had to make that joke. I got to make that joke 3 times. I'll stop. But Alessandro just dropping off of Bada Big just a little bit. Kepler on point 3 after his teammate. I think Javi's going to go one more lap here on his tyres and then pit at the end of 28, which means he'll go 22 to the end. We'll see if anything is going to happen here. Everyone's just starting to spread themselves out. Kepler ahead of Alessandro, but that's because Alessandro pit. Hollywood currently 1.7 seconds ahead of Aura, who's actually came out ahead of Astro. Half a second split those two, so he's got a little bit of traffic now, Aura, on his medium tyres. You know, Hollywood in front of him, they'll catch up rather soon, unless Hollywood goes into the pits, which doesn't look likely. Hollywood seems to be on the longer stage of his race right now. Aura just looked a little bit uncomfortable there in that first sector. Gets a better exit, however, into the first of the right hand as we go. So he cleared Astro now. 1.5 seconds behind Hollywood. Matty's come out in 11th. He just cleared Owen. Alessandro a further 12 seconds behind Matty. Javi now into the pits. Okay, so this is where things potentially get interesting. Aura's currently, I think it was 7 seconds the gap the last time we saw it between these two. Gonna be a medium tyre that goes on Javi's car. Javi's obviously got to put less fuel in as well, because he went longer. Is he gonna jump Aura out? I don't know if he's gonna, no, he's not gonna jump him out, no. Let's see Javi coming out the pits now, in the slowest animation of all time. He is going to be comfortably ahead of Matty though. Entire turn 1 ahead of Matty. He is about 5 seconds, I'd say, behind Aura right now. So he has gained a little bit of time there, Javi. He's going to be on pressure tied the whole way. I don't think it's going to be enough to close the gap down entirely, though, without Aura getting caught up in some sort of traffic here. 8.7 seconds is between Javi and Matty, so I don't really think there's going to be any sort of damage done there. Or already cleared Astro a couple of seconds here. Rabacked into the pits. Lewis is still out. I'm going to be very interested in seeing how this strategy plays out for Lewis. Because he's going to have a lot of ground to make up. He's going to put in a lot less fuel though. That's going to be the difference. He's going to make all that ground back up with the less fuel and then have a run at it on soft tyres. Raback coming out. Is he going to jump Matty out? Certainly they're going to jump Javi out. Matty coming round the corner now. Beats his teammate out the pits. Matty jumps Raback at the moment, but Raback is a lot closer. And Raback in there, 0.6 of a second to his teammate again. These two have done well, Raback in particular has done a very good job of it so far. Of hanging with Matty and just putting them in a position to score a ton of points. Comfortably ahead of Alessandro. I won't have to worry about him anymore unless they make a mistake. The only question is, with the Javi 8 seconds up the road, I don't really think there's going to be anything they do to trouble him. Javi must have had a penalty because he dropped actual time to Astro a little bit there. Aura's got past Hollywood. That's a relatively recent development in this race. Aura's going to start to clear that then. And he's now got clear air for 7 or 8 seconds in front of him. Yeah, at that point, now Aura's just going to be pumping in laps for the rest of this one to try and keep himself ahead of the front of this grid. Shouldn't be too difficult. We'll see how much fuel really accounts for by the end of this one. Very intrigued to see when Bada Big and Lewis pit in particular, because they're on the alternate strategy right now. And Aura is currently in net lead of the race. Continue on. Bada Big still 1.1 seconds ahead of Kepler right now. He's actually losing time as we continue through. Kepler just starting to edge into that second mark. He got himself within 9.5 tenths now with Kepler as they go through turn 1 between him and Bada Big. And what started out great for Project Platypus is just starting to unfold potentially. Loses out to Kepler here. That's an actual position lost. The Harricks won't be complaining. It's a couple extra points in their fight with FGR. FGR currently in the lead of the championship coming into today, will be extending as it stands, given the fact that these front 5 have to pit again. About a big 7 tenths of a second now. It is just getting closer and closer for Kepler. He's just not going to get close enough though. You have to hope he's got a better run at this than Alessandro did. Alessandro had a couple of those goes at Bada Big, and it didn't really come to fruition at any point. Looks like Sindra just come into the pits. Yep, Sindra into the pits here then. We'll see where he comes out. See if he can make anything of his race. We'll be on to another set of soft though for Sindra, I reckon. I don't think he'll have too much complaining with that. Bada Big is right. He's been caught right up now by Kepler. 4/10 of a second. It was 7/10 the last time they were here. You see Harlex at 3.7 in the distance. You could have seen him in the background of the shot. Might be about to see him peer in again in a split second. Kepler getting a better exit out the corner there. Bada Big had a better corner overall, but Kepler got a nice little exit. Might have a good run this time. Might have a go at him this time. Can he get it done? Is he going to run out of space? He is going to run out of space. Bada Big should hold this, and Bada Big will hold this. Until the end of lap 33. No pit between the two of them right now. Bada Big going to have to defend like his life depends on it right now. In comes Harlex off the soft tyres. Came in one lap later than his teammates, so he's going to be able to drive a little bit more ambitiously in this second stint, or third stint, second soft stint, whichever one you want to reference it as. Bada Big doing enough right now to defend from Kepler. You realistically got to make the move into the end of the second sector, otherwise you aren't really going to be able to make it. He's currently 3/10 behind. He's this close coming out this corner. Oh, he might have made a little bit of a mistake there, though. He's gifted him a little bit of time back. And the chance, well, that was a golden opportunity if he got that corner right to get Bada Big. May have just fallen by the wayside. There is still 16 laps to go, and there's no way Bada Big can defend like this for 16 laps. Not that he's going to. They're going to be pitting again in like 3 or 4. But Bada Big again, taking advantage of the mistake from Kepler to defend another time into the chicane. What's happened there? Oh, Kepler was into the pits. I didn't see him. He kind of blended into the wall for a split second there. So he has come into the pits, potentially trying to undercut Bada Big here. The issue you got with that is that every single lap that Bada Big does now is a lap less of fuel that he has to put in the car for a soft run. The longer you stay in the pit, obviously the more you're going to gain. 22 seconds right now between Aura and Lewis. That was 16 the other way prior. I don't think Lewis is going to be too long away from pitting here. His medium tires and his fuel would indicate that he's probably going to go a little bit longer. Got a lot left in the tank here. Right now, Hollywood still has to pit, Astro still has to pit, and so does Bada Big and Lewis. Because simply not because they're using different tires or whatever, just simply because they're never making it to the end from their current situation. It looks like Hollywood's coming in now. That fuel tank very depleted. Astro just got overtaken by Javi. I think Hollywood just cut that line. Oh, it's going to be close. We'll have to take a look at it in a minute when he comes out this pit lane, but I think he may have just cut the line. Astro right on the back of Javi right now. These two technically fighting for position. Albeit when Astro comes in a lap or two, that will end any chance for Astro potentially even being in the top 10. We will continue to watch. Actually, no, we won't. We will go look. It's now about 21 seconds between Aura and Lewis. So Lewis losing time just a little bit right now. Rabak and Matty obviously gaining the position at the moment. They're both on the medium tyres. The interesting scenario is that Harlex is not. Harlex is 2.6 behind Rabak, and he is on the soft tyres. there is potential here that Harlex might be able to come in and snatch a couple of places off FGR, you know? He's definitely going to have the pace here on the soft tire. Let's see if he can keep it up for long enough. He's got the bit between his teeth right now. You can see the yellow and white in front of him. You can also probably look on the left-hand side of his screen and see the time starting to tick down. And see if he's going to be able to make anything happen. Astro's now into the pits. Badabig is now into the pits. And Badabig's already coming out of the pits, already onto his soft tyres. He is potentially going to come out behind this group of drivers. Or is he? Here comes Caplero. Caplero looking for it. Again, these two fighting it. This time into turn 2. And Caplero is going to beat him out. Now Badabig had a lot of drivers to try and get through. All of them have already made their final stop. Lewis is now into the pit, so this is going to be figuring out where Lewis is in comparison to Javi, potentially, because I don't think he's going to get close enough to Aura to make anything different. But definitely going to have to try and figure out where he is in comparison to Javi. Owen and Syndra pitted a lot earlier. Syndra's going to go for this. Syndra's going to go for this. Caplero might as well. If I'm Caplero, I'm probably going to try and follow through the hole. No, Caplero's gone to the opposite side. Caplero has gone to the inside of Owen. Syndra has got himself in front of the group. Caplero has got himself in front of the Englishman. Badabig, the Dutchman, trying as well. And just simply by being the lead of 4 cars there, Owen has just dropped himself a couple of positions. It's rather unfortunate. Badabig didn't have the tyres. We go to the inside. Tried it. Couldn't really establish it. Those two have come together out through turn 2. They're still there, and I think there's a bit more contact through turn 3, and Badabig has got through, and he's been flashed his lights at by Owen, who doesn't seem to be too happy at that. Well then, so Badabig got past, and Caplero and Syndra also got past on the last lap, so Owen's just dropped 3 positions without really doing an awful lot. Let's have a look at what's going on between Javi and Lewis, who have come out relatively close to each other. Lewis to the inside, gets in front of the Arex driver, and there's 9 seconds of gap with 12 to go on, and Lewis has the fresher tyres on the softer compound. Is that realistically a gap I think Lewis is going to be able to charge down? Not really. It's going to be very close. Reckon he's going to get within 2 seconds of Aura by the end of this. He's going to have to pump in some hell of a some laps here to get close enough. He's already trying to chunk out of Aura in this first couple of corners on the soft tyre, the second lap on the soft tyre. Rabak is ahead of Harlex, who has already overtaken Matty. So Matty's dropped a place. Down to 6th, and we might see a Falcon driver in the top 4 here. No, we probably would not have penciled in before this. Harlex is doing a massive job right now for Falcon. Definitely damage limitations, but massive job nonetheless. He's going to have a go at this. Maybe against Matty against Rabak, sorry. Down into the chicane. Can he get it done? Rabak moves all the way over to the inside to try and stop him. He's going to have to leave the space on the outside because Harlex is there. And he got through. Nice move on the outside there by Harlex. Rabak never really stood a chance. A nice move there from Harlex. He's up in the 4th. The real question now, on the hard tyre, on the medium tyre, sorry, compared to the soft of Harlex, is he going to have enough to try and get Javi? Or get close enough to Javi? I don't think he is, because his tyre's already worn quite heavily. He's going to have to try and defend from Rabak and Mate eventually. going to be very interesting to see if he can drive away. Either way, Lewis has definitely driven away from Javi, and he's closed Aura down by, well, it was about 0.8 of a second on the prior lap, well overtaken Javi. This time, I think it's over a second. It might be even a second and a half on this lap. Aura's definitely going to be aware that that lead is whittling away at quite some pace here, with 10 to go. 7.5, he did an 18.5 there. Lewis's last lap is a 17.6. There's 0.9 of a second there, taken out of Aura's lead. I don't think that, it's going to be close to see if that's enough, you know. The issue is he's not going to be able to keep up that pace the entire time. So whilst he's doing 0.9 and 0.8 of a second a lap out of Aura right now, that will tail off eventually. He's currently at 0.2 up on his best lap so far, so whether or not that's going to tail off now, it's doesn't look like it's going to be anytime soon. Lap is now set is 6.6, 6.5. That's an entire second on this lap so far. Taken out of Aura's lead. He is very much charging that down. Rabat cleared cleared by 1.3 seconds by Harlex now, as he is in fourth. Doing a good job for Falcon here. Potentially driver of the day, honestly, if I had to choose. He's done a very good job, the green and black. He is closing down on Javi, but he's not going to be able to do it quick enough, I don't think. So I don't think there's going to be any danger to the podium unless Javi ends up getting a penalty or two. And he is doing a very good job against the FGR boys in 5th and 6th. Sindra also on the tyres right now, currently having to fight Kepler, who's definitely on better tyres. And these guys have more of a case to try and go after Matty and Rabat, I think, than Harlex does in front. And if you are in Falcon's position, if you are in Eric's position, taking as many points off FGR as possible right now would be the play. Probably should be working together instead of trying to hinder each other. They got 9 laps, well, 8.5 laps by now to actually make something happen. Bada big there in the distance of the shot. I don't think he's going to get anything extra than 9th in this one, unless he's got some extreme pace without him on the soft tyres, which doesn't look like he does. Alessandro in 11th right now needs to get a move on. Hollywood's currently in 13th, not sure what happened to him. That 151 probably isn't going to help. That's when he pit, but yeah, that's when he pit. He'd come out behind Astro. He'd come out in last, which I don't think is very rewarding of what he's done so far today. Alessandro going past Owen and up into the top 10. About a big 7 seconds up the road. He's actually just about got past Owen there. So he heads into the chicane. He might have gone a little bit too deep on the exit of it, but no, he's actually going to hold that position to the McLaren. Matty and Sindra, Sindra and Kepler, are closing Matty down. They're now within 4 seconds. Those guys are going to get a shot potentially at the end of this race. Seeing how long, it depends on how long Sindra's tyre lasts for, realistically. They might get a shot this later on in this one. Matty and Rabat obviously cleared quite drastically by Alex, who's not really going to get a chance to have. He's going to run out of time. But Lewis, however, might not. He's 4.5 seconds behind Aura now. He has closed that gap down from 9.5 from when he overtook Javi. About 3 or 4 laps ago, actually, at this point. 17.4 on the last lap for Lewis. 17.4 again. Actually, identical lap, 42.43 there for Lewis. And he charged down Aura. We did an 18.3 on the last lap and an 18.4 on the prior lap before that. So it is still about a second a lap here for Lewis, who is closing in. The real question right now is he going to be able to close in with enough time left on the clock? About to hit the hour point in this race. We'll see if there's going to be anything that happens between Matty and Sindra here as well, and also Caplero, who might just try and go for it eventually if Sindra can't pick up the pace. Because Sindra is closing in on Matty at every corner, but I don't really think he's closing in enough to really make anything happen or trouble the FGR driver in the slightest. These two should be working together. They can see the yellow and white in front of them. They definitely need to work together here. Oh, that's a Raback penalty. Raback and Matty are going to come right beside each other. If Raback's got any common sense, he lets Matty go with the penalty here. He's not going to. And actually, they're going to be just too far ahead of Matty. He's gone deep into the gravel, and onto the grass goes Raback. He does let Matty go eventually because he didn't really have a choice in the matter. Caplero got past Sindra. And now Caplero might have a real shot at Raback here. And even if he can get Raback soon enough, he might even have a shot at Matty. Would be a massive point swing in Eric's favour, that one. Especially if he can drag Sindra along with him for the ride. We're on 40 for lap 45, it's 1.7 seconds. It's a lot closer than it was before. And back to the front, 3 seconds now between Aura and Lewis. The gaps are just coming down. We might have some grandstand finishes here, up and down the grid. The real question is, it going to be too little, too late for Lewis? Or is he going to time this perfectly on probably maybe the last lap at this point? Maybe lap 49 if he's driving exceptionally well. 2.7 the gap. That gap just continuously comes down. 76. He is just starting to lose the time a little bit. 84. Another 0.8 of a second cut out the lead. With 5 to go now. 0.8 of a second. Put it about 4 seconds. It would be enough. Would be enough right now for Lewis to win. But he's got to do it on every single lap between now and the end of the race. And that's going to be his issue. He is very much closing that down again, though. There's 0.6 extra coming out of Aura's lead. It's 2.1 now as we go into the middle of lap 46. Just a second look at Raback and company. Raback only 1.1 second ahead of Caplero, and which means Matty's only 2 seconds ahead of them now as well. Again, if Caplero can get past Raback this lap or next lap, he is going to get a shot at the Romanian driver for 5th place. That's going to be an interesting scenario. Caplero has got himself within a second. Sindra's just dropped off the back a little bit, so he's not dragged him along for the ride. So any positions are just going to be between Ericsson and FGR here. I don't think Caplero's close enough this lap. He sure as hell will be next lap. Half a second between them, and that gap is continuously coming down. Caplero has got far kind of tired right now. There's only 0.7 of a second between Matty and Raback, and this might be a little bit of a play for Slipstream. And it might save them both as well if that is the case. Raback getting all sorts of wrong there in turn 1, just a little bit wide. Drew scrubbed all the speed off. That means Caplero is now within 0.2 of a second, or just outside of 0.2 of a second rather. We will flip to the lead actually while we have it now. 1.1 seconds currently between Aura and Lewis. We are going to have some grandstand finishes toward the end of this race, folks. We're going to have a look here, though, at this point in time, because Aura's going to have enough of a gap till the end of till potentially the end of lap 48. To see if Caplero can go after Raback. He is a lot closer than he has been before. Looking for that 6th place. Looking for a little bit of a point swing in Ericsson's favour here. If he can get it. Bear in mind, he's on the soft compared to Raback's medium tyre. He's going to switch to the inside with a little bit of a late break. And he's got the move. He's definitely got the move. And he's up ahead of Raback. And as I said before, if he got him on this lap or the lap prior, He's going to have a real potential shot at Matty here. It's going to be close going toward the end of this race here. We go back toward the front. The gap is now exactly 1 second. Exactly 1 second between Aura and Lewis on lap 48 of 50. The slipstream is starting to kick in. Lewis is just about halfway on his tyres. Aura needs to defend for 2 more laps. That's all he needs to do. If he's going to win this race, he's going to take 2 extra laps of defending against Lewis. Has he got it in the tank? Has he got enough left on those medium tyres to stop the softs from stampeding on through? 18.4 on the last lap, 18.2 for Lewis, who really isn't just starting to drop that kind of chunking into the lead he has been doing over the last 10-ish laps or so. 0.6 of a second between them. You see that Lewis is still the quicker car. The question is now, is there going to be an overtake to be made here? If he's going to do it, he's going to leave it late. He's going to have to get a good run here. He's going to have to get a good run here. Because even if he doesn't get him on this lap, he needs to set him up for this time next lap. Otherwise, Aura's going to just drive to the line relatively unscathed. Really close between the 2 drivers here. That gap is going to come down potentially within half a second here. We head toward the bottom of the hill into the final chicane of lap 49. Lewis is really close now. He can essentially feel Aura right in front of him now. About 0.4 of a second split the 2 of them. It is going to come down to a last lap shootout between everyone here. Lewis not going to be able to get him into turn 1. He's got within 1/4 of a second now. It's going to be right sudden death between these 2 as we watch to the line on the final lap, lap 50 of 50. Is Lewis going to be able to win his debut in ALR? Or has Aura got enough in the tank to defend from him and deny him that stat? It's going to be really close. It's 0.3 of a second now. Aura needs an excellent couple of corners here. Lewis needs a good run. It's going to be 1 corner to decide it all, and it's going to be this one. Who's going to get the better exit? A little bit of a slide, and it's going to be a little bit of a slide for Aura, who jumps out the slipstream straight away. Lewis is close. Lewis is going to get it. Lewis is going to get this, surely. Down to the line. Down towards the chicane, sorry. On the final lap, they pull side by side. Is it going to happen? On the outside here for Lewis. He is ahead of Aura into the chicane on the final lap. It took him right to the last, right to the death, right to the very last opportunity he possibly could have had. But he's going to win on his debut in ALR, and Lewis wins at Road Atlanta. Aura gets done at the last. He gets second. Javi's going to finish on the bottom step of the podium after basically driving by himself for 40 laps. Alex is going to take 4th and run with that. And here we go. Keflero has one last chance, potentially a Matty here. Nope, it's been cut short. It's got short, and Matty holds on by less than a tenth. Keflero gets 6th, Raback 7th. Sindra gets 8th there. Badabik runs over in 9th. Alessandro is in 10th, but FGR is definitely going to extend their lead at the championship this round. Hollywood is in 11th again, having a decent run of the day today. He gets 11th there. Astro gets 12th, and Owen is... I'm not entirely sure what Owen has done, to be completely honest with you. He pit, got the 3-second time penalty, and now we'll watch him to the end of the race here. What a final lap. Aura had almost enough in the tank to defend from Lewis to stop him winning his debut. But Lewis very much said no. Not today. Not today. I am taking that win, and I am doing it at quite literally the last available opportunity. And there is absolutely nothing you can do about it. 3-1 showing over the line in back in reverse. What a race at the end. Kepler almost stole an extra couple of points of SGR as well. Absolute mayhem on the final couple of laps. What a race. The two of them talking to each other in the chat afterwards. I can't wait to see Jensen in the mix of all this as well, honestly. Quite frankly, that's going to be absolutely astounding, those three fighting it out. Wow. And then you got Javi as well, who wasn't too far off. You're going to have some massive battles over the next 4 or 5 weeks. Alright. So we are officially halfway through this season. Halfway through this season. And that's a good way to end the first half of the season, I reckon. But for those who are in the server, still watching, head over to the Esports chat, or potentially GT announcements as well, because I am about to announce next season's Esports calendar. I hope everyone enjoyed it when they see it. We did have to make a couple of revisions, but yeah, I hope everyone enjoyed the calendar. I hope everyone enjoyed this race. I've been Pyro. I will see you guys next time. In a bit.